लड़श पे खबर तकम स्कोर माल रोड़ा ताजा ताजा गुलुना द्रेसलोर माल रोड़ा ताजा ताजा गुलुना द्रेसलोर माल रोड़ा
लड़श पे खबर तकम स्कोर माल रोड़ा
कोई रोको ना दीवाने को, मन मचल रहा कुछ गाने को। कोई रोको ना दीवाने को, मन मचल रहा कुछ गाने को। कोई रोको ना। ये भीगा भीगा मौसम, ये भीगी भीगी राहें, चले दो हम राही, बाहों में डाले बाहें। तो फूलों ने खिल के कहा ये दिल से, है दिन सुहाना मौसम सलोना, दामन से बांध लो प्यारा समा। कोई रोको ना दीवाने को, ये मन मचल रहा कुछ गाने को। कोई रोको ना। उम्र के सफर में जिसे जो यहाँ भाए, उसी के सपनों में ये मन रंग जाए। तो रंगों में प्रीत के रंगे रंगीला, गाले तराना जो ये रसीला, अलबेला गीत वो भूले कहाँ। कोई रोको ना दीवाने को, मन मचल रहा कुछ गाने को। कोई रोको ना दीवाने को, मन मचल रहा कुछ गाने को। कोई रोको ना।
Welcome, my lovely listeners, to your own show, Cricket with Mahesh Iyer, only on 103.3 Houston FM, a presentation of Rehan Siddiqui. Thank you so much for tuning in to me on this partly sunny, partly gloomy Sunday late morning here the 16th of November in Houston. I hope you all are doing well. Thank you again for tuning in to me for this show. Once again, the name of which is Cricket with Mahesh Iyer, only on 103.3 Houston FM. Cricket is also a bit of a divangi, right? And it almost begs to those who probably are not as big fans of cricket. Hey, do not stop a divana. Do not stop a crazy lover of the field of cricket. So one of the beautiful songs, one of the many beautiful songs sung by the legendary Kishore Kumar from the movie Priyatama way back in 1977. What a melody. And this Divangi easily translates to cricket as well. Once again, thank you for tuning in to me. Of course, you can listen in to me in the Greater Houston area on the 103.3 FM dial, HoustonFM.com, 103.3 Houston FM app, anywhere in the world. And for those of you who do love Facebook, I am on Facebook Live. For my Facebook listeners and those who are seeing me, I gave you a wave, a thumbs up, and a double victory sign. Once again, thank you for tuning in to me. I hope you all are having a wonderful Sunday morning or evening or afternoon, depending on which part of the world you are in. Once again, thank you so much for spending your time with me. Lots lined up on this, another cricket show. Pardon me, I've got a little bit of a bad throat. I'll try and keep my talking down to the minimum and our entertainment down to the maximum away from my blabber. But yeah, I do have to blabber a little bit to give you all a weekly roundup of what's happening and what's happened in the world of cricket, the sport that we all love. The T20 cricket, of course, we had the New Zealand West Indies T20 series that concluded a few days ago. New Zealand taking that series 3-1. It was a lot closer fought than what the scoreline suggested. Of course, there was also one game washed out, but it was a lot closer than the 3-1 series final scoreline. It could easily have been 2-2 between New Zealand and West Indies. Anyway, congratulations, Team New Zealand, for winning that particular one. We also have the emerging Asia Cup, almost like the India A versus Pakistan A match going on as we speak. And when I saw it, I think Pakistan A is going to canter over to victory, chasing only 136. They're already 93 for 1 after 9 overs. That was a fantastic turnaround performance by the young Pakistani team. I think Vaibhav Suryavanshi and Namandir had put India on course for at least 200 when in 9 overs or so they were over 90 for 2. But then the bowlers from Pakistan A struck and bowled India out for 136, which I think Pakistan A is going to chase down very, very quickly there. Women's Big Bash League, yes, Australia's only and premier cricket league that gets hosted around this time of the year for the women, followed by the men. So Women's Big Bash League started about a week ago. Lots of exciting games I've been able to catch a little bit here and there, a few of the highlights. But as of yesterday evening, Houston time, the top two teams to watch out for are Hobart Hurricanes and Sydney Sixers. They're at top of the table right now. We wish all the teams in that particular tourney all the very best. May it go up in stocks as it has been doing the Big Bash League, ladies and gentlemen, both the women's and the men's. Very, very good quality, very highly competitive cricket. And in fact, I recall a few years ago when I was in Australia, I did catch one of the women's Big Bash League games in Adelaide. It was a fantastic atmosphere, was able to get up close and personal with some of the stars, like Talia McGrath, Laura Woolward. Very, very pleasant vibe. So if you do happen to listen to me in Australia, you haven't been to a BBL game or a women's BBL game, highly, highly recommend that you do go out there, enjoy the game, enjoy the festive atmosphere that it fosters, along with some fantastic cricketing action by some of the most talented young as well as experienced cricketers, women cricketers from across the globe. So women's BBL, lots there to play for. It's going to last another few weeks, well into the early to mid part of December. I believe the final is going to be held around the 12th of December. So plenty of action there that one could catch here in the United States on Willow TV. That's on the field of T20s. Now in the field of one-day internationals. Again, New Zealand and West Indies played out their first one-day international again yesterday. It was an absolute thriller and New Zealand winning by about 7 runs. That's it. It was a seesaw battle, but New Zealand coming on top eventually. Similarly, Pakistan versus Sri Lanka, we are down to the last game of a three-game series that I think Pakistan should now win 3-0. They were already leading 2-0. And as of right now, I think they're only like 2 runs away from victory from 35 balls remaining. So they're closing in on a series clean sweep 3-0. Let's also not forget Babar Azam, the fantastic right-handed batsman who many a soul has criticized for one reason or the other. He silenced his critics in the best possible manner by scoring a brilliant 100 in the second one-day international. He has now got 20 one-day international centuries, and one just hopes he continues in this own rich vein of form that he seems to have now rediscovered down the road as well. Surely one of the most graceful batsmen to watch around the world. So we congratulate Team Pakistan. They are on the verge of a 3-0 series victory in that particular ODI series. Now, moving on from ODIs, test matches. Again, a fantastic test match that played out between India and South Africa. Fantastic in terms of the riveting action that it produced. Pardon me. By way of again being a seesaw battle, India on day one took the honours by bowling South Africa out for a mere 159 and losing only 1 wicket in the end of day one. But then South Africa turned to their own magicians. They included Simon Harmer, Keshav Maharaj, Marco Jansen, and they bowled India out for a minimal lead of just 30 runs. And so India was able to score only 189 in response to 159 that South Africa had scored in the first innings. So with a lead of 30, India tried to bowl South Africa out on the third day as quickly as possible. They already had taken 7 wickets by the end of the second day's play. However, that man, that giant-hearted, very, very tall stature man in terms of his performance, in terms of his temperament, in terms of his skill, in terms of his captaincy, he may be physically very short, but everything else, he's extremely tall, taller than everybody else around him. Themba Bavuma, he stood like a rock, absolutely the rock of Gibraltar that did not allow India to walk over South Africa, set India a target of 124 to win. And then who else? Simon Harmer came back and KO'd, knocked out India for 93. Of course, India was missing Shubman Gill due to an neck spasm, but that's not South Africa's fault. Yeah. So South Africa winning the test match by 30 runs. Congratulations, Team South Africa. Fantastic performance. If I were to vote for the man of the match, it would have been Themba Bavuma. His 55, 54 odd runs were way more than their worth in gold on that pitch that I'm going to talk about in just a minute here. And Simon Harmer, while he had a more all-round performance, I think he was a bowler's pitch. He was crumbling from day one. A lot easier to take those wickets that Simon Harmer did, a lot more difficult to score those 55 runs or so that Themba Bavuma scored. Imagine if Themba Bavuma had scored only 10 or 20 odd runs, India would have won the match. Yeah? So I personally would have given Themba Bavuma the man of match award. And there were other reasons as well. Just about 24 hours before the start of the match, Themba Bavuma knew Kagiso Rabada, their biggest spearhead, would be missing out the game due to injury. No sweat. If there's no Kagiso Rabada, we've got other people. We've got Corbin Bosch. We've got Marco Jansen. We've got Keshav Maharaj. We've got Simon Harmer. We've got plenty of ammunition to win. And surely they did win. So this is actually a pattern for those of us who've been following Team South Africa. They won the World Test Championship final against a very formidable Australian team with their backs to the wall. About a month ago, they were in Pakistan. They had lost the first Test match again on a turning track, but in the second match, they came into their own. They came into their own with Senuram Muthuswamy, Keshav Maharaj, and Simon Harmer to square the series 1-1. So congratulations, Team South Africa. What a game for them. What a performance for them. And the scene now shifts to the second test match in a few days at Guwahati, further east of Eden Gardens, Kolkata. A little bit about the pitch. I personally am not happy with the quality of the pitch. I know there are some mixed opinions all over the globe. Experts, fans have voiced. in my opinion, a pitch that doesn't allow Test cricket to go beyond 2.5 days cannot be a great advertisement for Test cricket. When India played England a few months ago over the summer in England, the quality of those pitches was top notch, absolutely top notch, outstanding cricket that more often than not went into the fifth day. And both teams had to dig deep into their reserves and produce the highest quality of cricket to win over the other. Of course, the series was a drawn one, which I think was a fitting result as well. But the kinds of pitches like Eden Gardens, in my opinion, make winning the toss a big thing, make the game a bit of a lottery, and so I don't think that really is a good advertisement for Test cricket. But that's just my personal opinion. As I said, you can go online and see all the social media and expert comments. You will see that the opinions are divided. But anyway, once again, let's congratulate Team South Africa on a fantastic win, continuing from where they were, and congratulate Temba Bavuma personally for leading a side in as brilliant a manner as he could have as a captain as well as a batsman under extremely difficult circumstances. Moving away from there, the Ashes is about to start November 20th at the Optus Stadium, Perth, and I believe this one is going to be a little bit of an advantage England, because for those of us who have not been following the team news from Australia, well, Patrick Cummins is out of Perth due to not yet having recovered fully from his prior injury, and a bigger blow has also come now. Josh Hazelwood is out of Perth as well, and so he with another injury. So their fast bowling reserves are now down to Mitchell Starc and Scott Boland from the experienced ones. Of course, they've also brought in Xavier Bartlett and a couple of other pacers with much less experience in the field of Test cricket. So I think it's going to be advantage England. England had their own scare. Mark Wood was sent for scans, but apparently he's going to be fine and he should be good to go for the Test match starting in Perth in 4 days from now. Well, technically more like 3 days, because it's already the 17th of November in Perth as we speak. So it'll be the 20th of November, Thursday, when the test commences. So that was a weekly roundup, ladies and gentlemen. Now, going to today's show, we'll continue with our discussions on women's cricket. We talked about the Women's One Day International World Cup that India won, and I started my own World 11, which is the rest of the World 11 that I think if they had played against Team India in the final of the World Cup, they probably would have beaten Team India. And in that World 11 last week, I was able to get through the top 3 players in my batting order. And they were Alyssa Healy, who's also going to be the vice captain, Laura Woolward, who's also going to be the captain, and the wonderful and young talent, Phoebe Litchfield at number 3. Today we go ahead from there. But before we go there, I'm going to have to switch the cameras to my displays. And while I do that, here's a song celebrating the power of women, Nari Shakti. By the time this song plays out, I'll be back on my desk, ready to walk you through and show you some wonderful performances of this fantastic set of women's cricketers that I want to talk about and really appreciate the performances of. Be back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. Nari Shakti coming up for you right now.
Shakti, Shakti, Shakti. वो शक्ति है, 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 वो शक्ति है। कभी कभी वो शक्ति है, कभी कभी वो भक्ति है। ना झुकती है, ना रुकती है, ना थमती है, ना थकती है। ना झुकती है, ना रुकती है, ना थमती है, ना थकती है। वो शक्ति है, 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 वो शक्ति है।
वो शक्ति है कि जिसको अपनी शक्तियों का ज्ञान है, जिसके हाथ में कमान लक्ष्य पर ही ध्यान है, जो चक्रवात की लहर के सर पे चढ़ के झूम ले, कि प्रश्न चिन्ह तोड़ कर जो उत्तरों को छूम ले। शक्ति है, वो 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 शक्ति है। जो आग और बर्फ दोनों साथ लेके चलती है, जो तीर में बदलती है, जो ढाल में भी ढलती है, जो एक पल में अग्नि है, जो एक पल में नीर है, जो पत्थरों की स्याही से खींची हुई लकीर है। वो आ गई जो जिद पे तो नदी का रुख भी मोड़ेगी, जो ले लिया है एक बार प्रण वो करके छोड़ेगी, लाख उसके इम्तिहान ले कोई भी डगर, न दर्द की उसे फिक्र, न चोट का ही कोई डर। वो शक्ति है, 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 वो शक्ति है।
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was a celebration of Nari Shakti, women's power. So, continuing our conversation on my rest of the world women's 11 that I think would have challenged the Team India women on the night of the final of the One Day International World Cup. Who do I put as my number 4 player on my roster? Now, as I was looking at the players that I want to put in there were so many fantastic performers that I just could not leave out. And if you all recall, the other thing I mentioned is I tried to accommodate at least one player from each of the 7 nations outside of India. Of course, there are no Indian team members in this particular 11 because there's the rest of the world 11 outside of Team India that I think would have beaten Team India on the night of the final. So as I was doing my analysis as to who I want to put in my 11, I realized that some of these top performers that I think should be in the 11, they are all rounders. And even though they play at certain positions in their particular national team, I'm going to have to shift them around a little bit. But I think they are such good players, such good all rounders, literally fantastic bowlers as well as batters or batswomen, that they should not have a problem being pushed from, let's say, a number 4 to a number 5 or a number 5 to a number 6. I think they will all come out with all guns blazing, and with their bat as well as with their ball, they will be extremely impactful. So that was one thing that I had to do to accommodate this literal list of legends already, some very, very young, that I'm going to present and talk about. So number 5, I have one of my favorite all-round women cricketers across the globe. And she has been one of my favorites over the last few years, actually. Most recently promoted to being the captain of Team England after Heather Knight kind of stepped down from captaincy. Heather Knight, a fantastic captain herself for many, many years. So this particular all-rounder, as I said, one of my favorites. She is one of the best in the world going around, both in terms of the international arena as well as in the leagues. She is now the captain of Team England. And a quiz question for you all. She's also married to yet another cricketer who was not as good at batting, but who was also one of Team England's finest bowlers for a very long time. The cricketer that I'm going to talk about is Natalie Sever-Brunt. And the question for you is, who is she married to? Another legendary English cricketer who is now on the commentary and she follows. She was actually in the stands as well, watching all of the games along with their little son. So, who is Natalie Silverbrunt married to? If you want to send me a message on Facebook, you can give me a call at 713-931-1033. In the meanwhile, let's talk about Natalie Silverbrunt. Natalie Silverbrunt had lots of fantastic performances throughout the World Cup, but the one that I'm going to share with you all, and we all are going to enjoy together, is her performance in the semi-final, the first semi-final of the World Cup against South Africa. She hit a brilliant 64, and on another day, she would have helped England win that game. Unfortunately, there was not to be. South Africa won the game, and in a few minutes from now, we'll also see why South Africa won the game. But let's sit back, relax, and enjoy Natalie Silverbrunt's fantastic 64 against South Africa in the first semi-final.
Perfect cover drive. Beautiful timing and placement. First boundary for Silverbrunt. Down the pitch. Third doesn't get round. No dive.
That is hit with some power. A crack off the bat of Silverbrunt. It's a good take again behind the stumps. De Klerk just falling in her follow through. I think she's okay, hopefully. Got into a position good enough to get that down towards backward square leg for 4.
It was a key moment. Again, bowler misses it, mid-off misses it, long on can't get there.
Goes aerial and goes the distance. A skipper brings up her half century in rich vein of form. Laura Wolford threw down the gauntlet in the first innings, and Nat Silverbrunt is responding in this fight. It's a wicket that they wanted. Marizanne Kapp comes back into the spell and gives them the wicket they needed the most. It's the England captain who has to walk back, and she's disappointed.
The huge wicket of the England skipper, and that is why Marizanne Kapp was brought back on. Little bit of movement off the seam. Silverbrunt playing all round it, and we've seen that celebration for the third time now from Marizanne Kapp. She is pumped. Nat Silverbrunt was looking good. She has to go 64. England lose their 5th for 138.
We saw what a fantastic knock there was, cut short by the brilliance of Marizanne Kapp. And in fact, Marizanne Kapp is the number 5 player on my roster, the fantastic all-rounder from South Africa. But before we go there, the answer to the question that I had, Natalie Silverbrunt is married to Catherine Brunt. Catherine Brunt, a fantastic bowler for England. I've seen her play on many an occasion, including live in the ground. She's now also a fantastic cricket commentator, and during the World Cup, I did catch on TV, she was there with their little baby boy. And so we congratulate both of them belatedly for a wonderful baby boy that Catherine and Natalie Silverbrunt have. And again, as I said, this wicket of Natalie Silverbrunt was something that actually catalyzed South Africa, and England couldn't go any further because of another great legend on the South African side, Marizanne Kapp. Marizanne Kapp, a fantastic all-rounder, again, one of my favorite all-rounders in the field of women's cricket. What a performer. She can win you games with the bat. She can win you games with the ball. And even though I was very happy when India won the World Cup final against South Africa, I think the one player that I was disappointed for, and all of Team South Africa, including the captain, Laura Woolward, was disappointed for was Marizan Cap. She probably has played her last one-day international World Cup. I hope she plays the T20 Women's World Cup next year in England. But as far as one-day international World Cup is concerned, I believe we have seen the last of Marizan Cap, and unfortunately, Team South Africa couldn't win the World Cup for her. But Marizan Cap, as I said, is my number 5 player on the roster. And not so ironically, what I'm going to show you all is a bigger clip of Marizan Cap during this particular World Cup in the same game, the semi-final against England, where she took 5 wickets in 7 overs, giving away only 20 runs. She dismantled England's top and middle order. Outstanding bowler. And now she has the maximum number of wickets in Women's World Cup. She surpassed another bowler, equally great, not an all-rounder, not from South Africa. Whom did Marizan Cap surpass to become the highest wicket taker in Women's One-Day International World Cups? Take out your Google, take out your Gemini, take out your Copilot, take out your AI agent, be which one you use. Find out who's the legendary bowler that Marizan Cap beat now to get to the maximum number of wickets in one-day international World Cups. And while you're doing that, I'm going to switch to enjoying Marizan Cap's brilliant, devastating performance in the same semi-final where Natalie Siever-Brunt scored a brilliant 64. Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen.
Dom, nip backer through the gate. Marizan Cap, as ever, delivers.
She was always going to target the stumps. This is her delivery. Slightly wider in her release. Knows that Amy Jones does collapse straight through the gate. What a perfect delivery. Masterclass from Marizan. You don't see that celebration too often. That is the occasion. What a start for South Africa. Amy Jones gone without scoring. England lose their first.
Oh, dragged on. Marizan Cap has 2 in 5 deliveries. England wobbling. Outstanding from Cap, outstanding from South Africa.
Not much footwork at all from Heather Knight. Wider release this time from Marizan Cap. What a dream start. Those feet don't go too far early. What a perfect delivery. Stuck on the crease. That is not an action replay. 2 in the first over. She cannot believe it. England 2 down, none on the board.
It's a wicket that they wanted. Marizan Cap comes back into the spell and gives them the wicket they needed the most. It's the England captain who has to walk back, and she's disappointed.
The huge wicket of the England skipper, and that is why Marizan Cap was brought back on. Little bit of movement off the seam. Siever-Brunt playing all round it, and we've seen that celebration for the 3rd time now from Marizan Cap. She is pumped. Nat Siever-Brunt was looking good. She has to go 64. England lose their 5th for 138.
Big blow. And another one for Marizan Cap. She has been unstoppable. Once again, the edge has been found. Marizan Cap, she has hit this spot every single time. Just a little shimmy down the wicket, just prodding at the ball. Yes, it is in the gloves, nice and comfortably. How important was it getting her back on the field? Good feint edge. Sophia Dunkley, she's got to go for 2. 144 for 6.
And another one. Marizanne Kapp with a fifer in a World Cup semi-final. She's gone to 5 World Cups and she's now the leading wicket taker. But what a time to do it. She's on a hat-trick as well.
She's only just come back on the field from cramps. Once again, she just bowled in that niggly area, found the edge, supported from behind the stumps. Oh, what an outstanding sight that is. Cup is king here in Guwahati. She is leading her side with the ball. Dean out first, 144 for 7.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. That was Marizanne Kapp's devastating bowling performance in that semi-final against England that literally KO'd, knocked out England from the World Cup. After that, there was no way they were going to be able to chase down the huge target that South Africa had set for them. So congratulations, of course, at that point to Marizanne Kapp for becoming the leading wicket taker for women in the one-day international World Cups. And my question was, whom did she surpass? She surpassed the big giant with a big heart from India, Jhulan Goswami. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Jhulan Goswami was the one who held the record prior to Marizanne Kapp for the highest number of wickets among women in across all of the World Cups that they have played. And now that record belongs to the wonderfully talented, unfortunately already on the cusp of retirement, I think, Marizanne Kapp. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, I hope she is still around to play the T20 World Cup in the UK next year. We would love to see her playing well, giving it all for South Africa, maybe one last time. Yep. So thank you, Marizanne Kapp, for all the wonderful performances. So ladies and gentlemen, we've got the top 5 lined up in my Rest of the World 11. We have Alyssa Healy, we have Laura Woolward, we have Phoebe Litchfield, we have Nat Silverbrand, and we have Marizanne Kapp. We'll take a little song break, yeah? Life is something where we cannot allow the key strings to be broken. We need to live and foster love. This is a yesteryear song from the movie Kranti. Enjoy the song, Zindagi Ki Na Toote Ladi. And then on the other side of the song, we'll be back with more cricketing discussions in my Rest of the World 11 of women across the world outside of Team India. Stay tuned. This is your own show, Cricket with Mahesh Iyer, only on 103.3 Houston FM, a presentation of Rehan Siddiqui. Once again, you can listen to me on the dials of 103.3 FM in the greater Houston area, houstonfm.com, 103.3 Houston FM app, or of course, Facebook as well. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the song. On the other side of it, I'll be back with more discussions and videos on cricket. Just give me a minute. I didn't line that up, but that won't take very long. Yeah.
लेटेस्ट अपडेट्स के लिए अल्ट्रा चैनल्स को सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकन को प्रेस करें।
जिंदगी की ना टूटे लड़ी,
जिंदगी की ना टूटे लड़ी,
प्यार कर ले घड़ी दो घड़ी।
ओ जिंदगी की ना टूटे लड़ी, प्यार कर ले घड़ी दो घड़ी।
ओ लंबी 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 उमरिया को छोड़ो,
लंबी लंबी उमरिया को छोड़ो, प्यार की एक घड़ी है बड़ी, प्यार कर ले हो प्यार कर ले, घड़ी हो घड़ी हो, जिंदगी न टूटे लड़ी, प्यार कर ले घड़ी हो घड़ी।
उन आँखों का हंसना भी क्या, जिन आँखों में पानी न हो,
उन आँखों का हंसना भी क्या, जिन आँखों में पानी न हो,
वो जवानी जवानी नहीं, जिसकी कोई कहानी न हो, आंसू है खुशी की लड़ी,
प्यार कर ले हो प्यार कर ले, घड़ी दो घड़ी
ओ जिंदगी की न टूटे लड़ी,
प्यार कर ले घड़ी दो घड़ी।
मितवा तेरे बिना लागे ना रे जियरा,
तेरे बिना लागे ना रे जियरा, लागे ना।
आज से अपना वादा रहा, हम मिलेंगे हर एक मोड़ पर,
आज से अपना वादा रहा, हम मिलेंगे हर एक मोड़ पर,
दिल की दुनिया बसाएंगे हम, गम की दुनिया का घर छोड़कर, जीने मरने की किसको पड़ी,
प्यार कर ले हो प्यार कर ले, घड़ी दो घड़ी
ओ जिंदगी की न टूटे लड़ी,
प्यार कर ले घड़ी दो घड़ी। लाख गहरा हो सागर तो क्या, प्यार से कुछ भी गहरा नहीं हो,
लाख गहरा हो सागर तो क्या, प्यार से कुछ भी गहरा नहीं,
दिल की दीवानी हर मौज पर हो, आसमानों का पहरा नहीं,
वो टूट जाएगी
हर हथकड़ी, प्यार कर ले हो प्यार कर ले,
प्यार कर ले घड़ी दो घड़ी
मितवा
प्यार कर ले घड़ी दो घड़ी
मितवा
प्यार कर ले घड़ी दो घड़ी
मितवा रे मितवा
प्यार कर ले घड़ी दो घड़ी
लागे ना रे जियरा.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. What a lovely song from the yesteryear movie, Kranti. Yeah, have some love in the life. May the thread of life not break, not snap. Very beautiful song from 1980, I believe. That was when the movie Kranti was released. Welcome back to All Matters Cricket on your own show, Cricket with Mahesh Iyer, only on 103.3 Houston FM. The station, of course, is a presentation of Rehan Siddiqui. Continuing with our cricketing discussions, we want to talk about some more fantastic players in the field of women's cricket that I have lined up in my team. I've got the top 5 of my roster ready. Who gets in at number 6? This all-rounder, again, as I mentioned at the start of my show, a lot of the people that I found who are fantastic performers in women's cricket. They're all great all-rounders. They can be in your team purely for batting or purely for bowling. Fantastic all-rounders. And this all-rounder is a very special one, somebody very dear to my heart, because at the age of 25 or so right now, she's already a veteran, already a legend. I hope she continues to play for at least another 10 years, maybe another 15 years. I would never grow tired of watching her play. She's probably already played for 5 to 7 years. She's from New Zealand. She's a fantastic leg spin bowler. She's a fantastic batter, has a very, very strong head on her shoulders. And she's the younger of 2 sisters who play for New Zealand. And she has easily outshone her elder sister in terms of her performance, in terms of her value that she has brought to the New Zealand cricket. The cricketer I'm referring to is Amelia Kerr, often referred to as Melly Kerr. I'll refer to her as Amelia Kerr, her original name, as I have known her. I've been watching Amelia Kerr play at least for the last maybe 4 or 5 years across international cricket, across Women's Premier League, and so on, Big Bash League. As I said, a fantastic cricketer, not a very tall stature cricketer, but absolutely tall with her performances. Now, unfortunately, Team New Zealand and also I would say Amelia Kerr during this recently completed World Cup had quite a few hiccups. They had quite a few matches rained out in Colombo, and they couldn't really progress even to the knockout stages. And even though Amelia Kerr did perform well for New Zealand, the fact that New Zealand as a team didn't perform all that well relatively, Amelia Kerr's performances in the 2025 World Cup were, I would say, mediocre by her standards. I'll still put her in my team because I think she's a great cog in the wheel, a great all rounder that could turn the games with the ball or with the bat or both given an opportunity. So, for her highlights, her performance highlights, we're going to go back a year to the 2024 T20 World Cup that New Zealand won, and that was in the UAE. And I'm going to play with you all a short video. I think it's only about like 4 minutes long that comprises Amelia Kerr's bowling exploits throughout the tournament against multiple opponents. And before I do that, Amelia Kerr, as I said, is the younger sister of another cricketer who is also fairly prominent, but maybe not as prominent as Amelia Kerr. Who is Amelia Kerr's elder sister? So get your answers ready. Send me a Facebook message. Give me a call, 713-931-1033. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again for tuning in. Let's enjoy Amelia Kerr's bowling performances from the 2024 T20 World Cup in the UAE.
in from Kerr, the googly. She uses it often to great effect. Pitched it perfectly, got the turn she wanted. Has she got this? She hasn't. So there's the chance, and Maddie Green hangs on to this one. She dropped Perry earlier. She hangs on this time, and it is the dangerous Beth Mooney. Got her! That'll make Amelia Kerr feel better. Perry is looking dangerous. Amelia Kerr has a brilliant googly. It gets her so many wickets. Oh, 2 and 2, the googly does it again. Brilliance from Amelia Kerr.
We were just discussing, and there she bowls another wrong one.
Cut away, straight to Tohu at point. Another wicket for Amelia Kerr. She is putting on a show here. An Australian lose another. Straight through. Amelia Kerr has been trying to find that line and that length to cause Chamari Atapatu problems. It was her traditional leg spinner.
In the points. Now, is that straight enough? It is, according to the umpire. Batter may think she got outside the line.
Brilliant piece of bowling from Amelia Kerr. She has drawn in the drive from Nida Dar. And that is a good piece of work as well from Izzy Gaze. So we'll have a look at this just to make sure. 3 wickets early with the ball. But here's Fatima on strike and gone. New Zealand on the brink of victory. Susie Bates this time holds on. And New Zealand are almost there. Senior players. Lobbed up. Here's another chance. That's the win for New Zealand. 3 for Kerr, but New Zealand are into the semi-finals of a T20 World Cup for the first time since 2016. Well, this has got a lot of hang time as well. It will also be another chance, and that is a super catch by Maddie Green out in the deep. She had to run round, cover the ground, time the dive, and keep hold of it on the landing.
She might just have done it. Amelia Kerr, she has done it. She's gotten rid of Deandra Guttin. An excellent decision of leadership from Sophie Devine. Crestfallen.
Gone! Massive! Laura Volpart perishes and New Zealand celebrate. She tries it again. Well, Amelia Kerr looked very interested in this.
Will now have its answer on the wicket. Bosch. Amelia Kerr has been outstanding. Lisa Salekan and Anjum Chopra here as well. This has been some performance so far.
Hanging in the air it is. Bates is so safe underneath it. She is one of the best in the field. It'll take a long time before you see her drop something like that, even in such a big occasion.
That, ladies and gentlemen, was Amelia Kerr for you. All of her performances across the 2024 T20 World Cup that New Zealand won in the UAE. A great performer, as I said, a young legend, kind of a little bit paradoxical that I'm saying young and legend, but that is really true of this gem of a cricketer from New Zealand. And the question that I had, who is the elder sister of Amelia Kerr? It is Jess Kerr. Jess Kerr, a fast bowler, a lower order batter than Amelia Kerr. Amelia Kerr is a much more, I would say, proper all-rounder, and hence she fits in at number 6 on my roster. Now, we're going to have time to talk about one more fantastic cricketer before I call it a day. who fits in on number 7. This cricketer is also literally, I would say, a genuine all-rounder. You could pick her purely to bat for your life and she would deliver. You could pick her to bowl her gentle off-spin and she would deliver for life. A cricketer par excellence from down under. One of my favorite all-round cricketers going around across the world, international cricket as well as in leagues. Ladies and gentlemen, the wonderfully talented, the headstrong, the tenacious, the absolutely, I would say, tough-headed cricketer from Australia, Ashley Gardner, popularly referred to as Ash Gardner. And I'm going to play the performance, one of the performances of Ash Gardner from this World Cup, where Australia was up against England. And Australia was tottering at 68 for 4. And they were not chasing a very big total. I think it was like 240 odd or so. But when you're 68 for 4, you lose 1 or 2 more wickets, England would have scented victory. What did Ash Gardner do? Let's sit back, relax, and enjoy Ash Gardner's brilliant performance. Her big unbroken stand with Annabel Sutherland. Let's enjoy, and you will see for yourself what Ash Gardner ended up doing on the field of cricket. So Ash Gardner, ladies and gentlemen, is number 7 on my player roster. Enjoy.
With the semi-finals loading. Put that past the field, and that will be another welcome boundary for Australia. So 2 fours in the over so far.
Down the pitch, long off, doesn't carry, and it will go through for 4, yes. Dean's been done by the spin there. In the air, but in the gap as well. Australia are on the charge here. England desperately need a wicket. Oof, it's flown. A slightly quicker ball. What did it come off? Definitely a bit of pad, but bat definitely. And she'll take it.
Too easy. Eccleston back, and that is played away for 4. And again, same area, different batter. Sibberbrun straying in line. And Ash Gardner, well, she's having a fabulous tournament with the bat. Another 50 to her name. And again, that Sibberbrun will not want to watch this back. That's been 3 in that area. And that is help yourself stuff for Australia. Shot. Now that is her favourite area, slightly fuller, and that is punished down the ground. Aerial, but into the gap, and that is a hot zone for Ash Gardner. Well, she just wants to take this pitch home with her. Ash Gardner, a century here in the first game against New Zealand. She's now moved to 75 from 56.
Will be 4 more. I don't think Dunkley's going to get it. She isn't. Race to 100 is on here for both these. Up and over. Sutherland 91, Gardner 89. Edged. And that boundary will take Gardner to 96. It is 234 for 4.
$100 against New Zealand here in indoor in match number 1 for Australia. 100 again in indoor, this time against England. The supreme all-round capabilities of Ash Gardner on display tonight. Wants to go up and over, does exactly just that. Some style to finish off a magnificent win for Australia. They remain undefeated in this World Cup and inflict England's first defeat here in indoor.
That, ladies and gentlemen, was Ashley Gardner from Australia. She's number 7 on my team roster. So I've got 7 members of my team lined up. Let's recap as we come towards the end of today's show. Alyssa Healy, wicketkeeper, vice captain, number 1. Laura Woolwart at number 2. Phoebe Litchfield at number 3. Natalie Siver-Brunt at number 4. Marizanne Kapp at number 5. Then I had Amelia Kerr at number 6 and Ashley Gardner at number 7. Those are the top 7 in my team. Next week, if all goes well, I'll close out my women's rest of the world 11 that I think would have beaten India on the night of the final at the D.Y. Patil Stadium in the 2025 ODI World Cup. Till then, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, be happy, be smiling, keep me in your thoughts and prayers so that I can be back here once again next Sunday, only at 11 a.m. Central Time, Houston Time, on 103.3 Houston FM, a presentation of Rehan Siddiqui, of course, Facebook as well as the 103.3 dial or the 103.3 Houston FM app. So while I take leave from you all, let's also celebrate the glorious, wonderful SRK. Shah Rukh Khan, we all know, he is a heartthrob of millions, maybe billions across the world, who knows? Definitely millions, maybe billions. He recently celebrated his 60th birthday. This song is a little bit of a tribute, a celebration of the longevity of this fantastic Bollywood actor, a worldwide icon. And you know what he epitomizes, right? Being a bazigar. And that's nothing, different from what you need even on the field of cricket. You need to be a bazigar. So this tribute, and then signing off from all of you. Thank you again for tuning in to me. So long, and we'll talk again in a week's time. Bye for now.
तू है बड़ा जादूगर बाजीगरो बाजीगर तू है बड़ा जादूगर ओ मेरा दिल था खेला तूने खेल ऐसा खेला तेरी याद में जागू रात भर
बाजीगर मैं बाजीगर दिल वालों का मैं दिलबर बाजीगर मैं बाजीगर दिल वालों का मैं दिलबर ओ दिल लेके दिल दिया है सौदा प्यार का किया है दिल की बाजी जीता दिल हार कर
बाजीगर ओ बाजीगर तू है बड़ा जादूगर चुपके से आँखों के रस्ते तू मेरे दिल में समाया, चाहत का जादू जगा के मुझको दीवाना बनाया।
पहली नजर में बनी है तू मेरे सपनों की रानी, याद रखेगी ये दुनिया अपनी वफा की कहानी।
मेरा चैन चुरा के मेरी नींदें उड़ा के खो न जाना किसी मोड़ पर।
बाजीगर मैं बाजीगर, दिल वालों का मैं दिलबर।
बाजीगर ओ बाजीगर, तू है बड़ा जादूगर।
ओ दिल लेके दिल दिया है सौदा प्यार का किया है, दिल की बाजी जीता दिल हार कर।
बाजीगर ओ बाजीगर,
बाजीगर मैं बाजीगर। धक धक धड़कता है ये दिल,
बोलो न क्या कह रहा है।
पास आओ बता दूं,
ना बाबा डर लग रहा है।
मुझको गलत ना समझना, मैं नहीं बादल आवारा, दिल की दीवारों पे मैंने नाम लिखा है तुम्हारा।
तेरे प्यार पे कुर्बान मेरा दिल मेरी जान, तुझे लग जाए मेरी उम्र। बाजीगर ओ बाजीगर, तू है बड़ा जादूगर।
बाजीगर मैं बाजीगर, दिल वालों का मैं दिलबर।
हो मेरा दिल था अकेला, तूने खेल ऐसा खेला, तेरी याद में जागो रात भर। बाजीगर ओ बाजीगर,
बाजीगर मैं बाजीगर।
बाजीगर ओ बाजीगर,
बाजीगर मैं बाजीगर। है तो है इसमें जिंदगी, अब मुझको जाना है कहाँ, के तू ही सफर है आखिरी।
कि तेरे बिना जीना मुमकिन नहीं, न जीना कभी मुझको तू फासले मैं तुझको कितना चाहती हूँ ये तू कभी सोच ना सके
तेरे लिए दुनिया छोड़ दी है तुझ पे ही सांस आके रुके मैं तुझको कितना चाहता हूँ